Today we're here with Dr. Felicity Keough of Keough Chiropractic in St. Charles. And Dr. Keough, I want to talk to you about water.
Okay, let's talk about water.
Okay, so I want to know how much is too much, not enough. Talk about pH, filters, I don't know, bottled water, plastic, whatever you feel like talking about.
I remember vividly a time when you came to my office and you were drinking like 2 gallons of water a day.
Yes, 2 gallons.
Which, you think, well, water's good for me. I'm this type of person. Whatever's good for me, more must be better.
Yes.
And that's gotten me in a lot of trouble in the past. But yeah, water's important because we have to have water. We're 75% water. This, our body is. So water is just one of those vital things that if we don't have enough of it, we're gonna have a lot of health issues, and we're gonna be, more hungry, sick. We're gonna hurt. All kinds of things. Energy's gonna be low. A good rule of thumb is divide your body weight in half, and that's how many ounces you should be drinking. So if you weigh 120 pounds, 60 ounces of water a day.
Okay, so I was drinking 2 gallons of water. I don't know how many ounces that is, but that was way more than what I needed to be drinking. And I remember the blood work that you took, and you're like, your kidney numbers are off, and you were going to refer me to a kidney specialist.
Yeah, I was scared.
And you're like, what are you doing? Let's go. And I'm like, nothing. I'm not doing anything. I'm doing everything you told me to do. And you asked me, how much water are you drinking? I'm like, oh, I'm rocking it. I'm drinking a couple gallons a day. And you're like, Bridget,
yeah,
I told you how much to drink, and you showed me the form, and you're like, it says right here, half your body weight in ounces. Remember that, half your body weight in ounces. And I think there's differences of opinions on that, but that seems to be, I just think you have to be careful of who you listen to too, because I literally heard a health coach, which is very educated, great person, I'm sure, but they suggested drinking 35 ounces of water really quickly, like all at one time. And I remember you saying it's not only important to drink the correct amount of water, not too much or too little, but not to drink so much at one time, because something to do with the kidneys.
Sure. I mean, it's, if you drink, I had an experience when I was much younger. I started my health journey when I was about 19, and I was big into everything, and more is better. And I remember drinking a lot of water. I don't know how much it was at a time, but it was a lot at one time, and I thought I was going to die. Like I thought I was, like, my life was over. So, but I didn't. I came back to, but what you do is you flush out all your electrolytes. You majorly dilute digestive enzymes, and you put a lot of stress on the kidneys. So that isn't a good idea. In my opinion, that's not a great idea. If you're thirsty, drink, but there's no need to like chug water, for no reason. In my opinion, it's a little bit dangerous.
Okay, so drinking water is important.
Yes.
And why is it important? Because I have friends that say, oh, I never drink water. And hopefully all of our listeners drink water. But if you don't, tell us why that's important.
Oh my gosh. I mean, like I said, our bodies are made up of close to 80% water, depending on what expert you ask. But your cells of your body need enough hydration, so nutrition can pass to and through the cell. We have electricity from cell to cell. We have to have all these chemical processes that happen, and if we're dehydrated on a cellular level, we're going to be in trouble. I have patients too that come in and they don't drink water. They only drink a few sips of tea or soda, and I just can't even like comprehend how much better they would feel if they just started to drink water. And some of them do, and they're like grateful, and others just they're not interested. But water is just vital. It's so vital.
I know there's a lot of symptoms that come with lack of water, like headaches or constipation. I mean, I think there's just a ton of symptoms that come along with that people are probably struggling with, that don't even recognize that there's a correlation there between not drinking enough water.
Yeah, most people, like if a patient comes in with headaches, a lot of times, it is related to their spine, but we can also kind of tell based on where the headache is that they might be dehydrated, and then when we ask the question, like a lot of times they are very dehydrated. But yeah, it can mimic headaches, hunger, low energy, depression, all of that stuff it can be correlated back to not having enough water in your system.
Okay. So can you talk to us about the pH levels? So I've done a lot of research
Controversy.
Yes. And one of the things that I've heard is that the pH levels and what you drink doesn't matter because the gut somehow makes the pH balance in your gut, I guess, before it goes throughout the rest of your system. And I guess part of me wanted to believe that maybe that was true. I had a recent experience with some of my blood work that came back, and you said, what's going on with your pH? My pH was off, and normally it's really good because I do drink a lot of water. So not 2 gallons anymore, but
Right.
and a lot less because I've lost so much weight, right? So I've had to alter that, so I'm drinking less water now. But I remember you saying your pH is what have you been doing? And I'm like, nothing. Well, I've been drinking coffee, and I'm not putting anything in the coffee. It's a healthy coffee. It's not coffee drinks. And I mean, coffee's not unhealthy, right? But it made my pH skyrocket, which is bizarre to me. But that kind of, in my mind, kicked out that reasoning that the gut can, correct whatever pH, imbalance you put in there.
Sure. Yeah, and I, in a lot of things, in this instance with water, I think alkaline water, non-alkaline water, whatever, neutral, moderation is probably important. So I'm not one to recommend alkaline water because if you think about it from a physiology standpoint, your stomach should be highly acidic, really. Like that's, you've got a pH of 5 or so in your, I don't know if it's 5, it's almost 5 to 6 in your stomach, and that's going to help with digestion, in particular digestion of proteins. So if you're, guzzling alkaline water at all, but alkaline water while you're eating, that's going to kind of affect how you digest your food, truly. And there hasn't been enough conclusive studies on alkaline water to know truly how good or bad it is. But just from a physiology standpoint, like thinking from as a doctor, well, your stomach's supposed to be acid pH. So why would I neutralize my digestive juices, when I already need all the help I can get to digest my food? But there's companies that really push, alkaline water, and I don't buy into it. So
you're not biting it yet, huh?
No, I think water is going to be somewhere between right around 7 pH, and that's that's a neutral pH. So I think that's probably good enough.
Okay, so I did an assessment on water that you can buy locally here in Missouri, and I found that they're not all the same. They're very, very different. So
the pH.
Yes, the pH levels are very, very different. So if that's important to you, you can test that yourself. You can just get pH strips and you can test that yourself.
Right.
So I found one that works for me, but it's a bottled water, and now I'm thinking that I may want to switch over to a filtered water, but I do not even know where to begin. So do you have an opinion on, just because the plastic, for one, the waste, I would like to save the planet. What do you think about that?
So if we're talking water filtration devices, my absolute favorite is the Berkey. And we can put that in resources if you would like to, but the Berkey filtration comes highly rated in the functional medicine physician world as being one of the best. I'm sure there's maybe some others that are up there as well, but I started using the Berkey filtration 3 years ago, and I've never looked back. It's you basically put the tap water into the system, and it filters everything out. It filters out all the fluoride, the chlorine. You can even use it in a time of like if like all the flooding that's going on, if you didn't have access to clean water, you can put river water in it and it filters everything out.
Really?
It's pretty incredible. Like people take it camping and put the river water in it. It's pretty incredible what it filters out.
So we'll put the details of that, as you said, Berkeley?
Berkey.
Okay,
Yeah.
so we'll put the details of that in the description of the video. What do you think about, so why do you do filtered water? So I'm carrying my plastic water bottle in here, and you carried in your glass container with your filtered water. Why? What?
Well, water's important because we are mostly water. But tap water contains stuff that you may or may not want to put in your body, depending on your area. I don't even bother with testing to know what's in the tap water because I just choose to not drink it. But tap water has stuff in it we don't want. Like chlorine, for example. They have to put chlorine in to neutralize pathogens and all that. And chlorine is going to have a negative effect on your microbiome, all the good bacteria that you have in your system. So that's just one instance.
A lot of the bottled water is tap water.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it is. And then clean water, pure water is pivotal to your health. Like just making sure you not only drink enough water, but that it's clean and pure. And then also important to drink it out of glass or stainless steel or something like that because of the endocrine disruptors that go along with plastic. There's no such thing as a safe plastic, in my opinion, and others' opinions as well.
Oh no, you said that! She said that out loud! Oh my gosh!
I don't think there is, but yeah, so I just play it safe and buy a glass bottle and refill it. That's kind of the way I roll.
Okay, so that just makes the most sense to you. Because, there have been a lot of challenges associated with plastic containers.
Oh yeah,
a lot of health issues.
Health issues, but also to the earth and pollution and all of that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And
so for the sake of humanity, avoid plastic.
For the sake of humanity, yes. But also, we're surrounded by endocrine disruptors too. Like, if we have plastic containers, or if we drink out of a plastic cup, or we use body lotion, all that stuff, we're surrounded by all these endocrine disruptors. So it's one extra way you can minimize the exposure to xenoestrogens and other things that are going to potentially screw up your hormones.
That sounds
which is
like
probably a whole nother topic.
Yeah, I was going to say that sounds like another topic. We're going to talk about that next time. Okay, thank you for joining us, Dr. Keough.
Thank you.
We'll have some resources and assessments in the description of the video if you'd like more information on water. We'll see you next time.